Welcome back to God is Power Podcast, and I am your host, Prashida. And today we are going to be talking about projections, jealousy, and how jealousy is a tool that can either make or break you. So let's just get straight into it. A lot of people talk about jealousy. If you have a jealous friend or a family member or a romantic partner, you need to remove them out of your life. And I agree with that. But there is much more to that because a lot of people talk about jealous people are toxic, jealous people are this, as if they've never been jealous in their life. Now, I'm not saying that I'm making excuses for people that are jealous. No, I'm going to be explaining jealousy, the emotion behind it, and what you do with it is what will make or break you. And a lot of people in the generic concept of jealousy talk about jealousy in that way. Like if there's someone jealous in your life, cut them off. But they don't go deep into what really that is. And also as if they've never been jealous themselves. Like, oh, I'm too good to be a jealous person. Like we all know we've been jealous. I've been a jealous person before, but what I did with that jealousy is completely different than a lot of people out there that these individuals talk about that project their jealousy onto others. So jealousy is a normal human emotion. We all get jealous, like I explained, but it's a tool. It's a tool for you to recognize why you feel jealous and then recognize that, okay, I am jealous of this individual, but I don't want to be jealous of this individual. So I'm going to ask myself why I'm jealous. That's called being self aware. You're being aware of the fact that you are jealous and you're feeling a jealous emotion. But instead of someone else feeling the same way as you, feeling jealousy because of this other individual and what they have, and instead of actually saying, wait, why do I feel this way? I don't want to feel this way, or put it on, project it onto this other person, they will do the complete opposite and not be self-aware and truthful to their true emotions. They will project that onto the other individual. They will start to see that person and say, well, I want what she has and she doesn't deserve it. I deserve everything. So therefore I'm going to have secret animosity towards her. And I'm not going to admit that the jealousy I feel is something in me that I'm lacking that I need to heal and evolve from. Instead, I'm going to keep projecting it onto the other individual and make that person the bad guy in my story because this person has everything that I should have. See, that's projection, right? When someone thinks like that, that's projection and not taking accountability of your life. Therefore, having secret animosity towards this person in your life, but acting like they actually are friends with this person or close to this person, but low key, every time this person is in their life that makes them feel jealous, they are not happy for them. Matter of fact, when the person says they are in a place where they're not doing good, that other individual that is jealous and projecting will actually like the fact that this other individual in their life that's not doing good is not doing good, because people like that will never take accountabilities. Therefore, they will prey on your downfall when you are low and not celebrate you when you are high. They might act like they're celebrating you, but in deep down inside, they have so much jealousy and they're projecting that energy onto you. Now, the other individual that is a self-aware jealous person is aware that, hey, for example, I feel like this person has everything that I want: the looks, the money, the success, the aura. And I want to be like that, but I notice I'm feeling jealous. I'm feeling triggered. So don't want to project this onto this person, whether it's someone in my circle or a random person. So therefore, I'm going to ask myself why I feel this way and do something about it. See, that's normal. When you're self-aware and you are aware you're feeling jealous, you are using it as a tool to be better, to become the highest version of yourself, so you can also have the life that you desire by looking at the other individual and saying, oh, I wish I had her life. That's a self-aware person that also has the emotion jealousy. So there's two different people: one person that's self-aware that has jealousy, and another person that is completely unself-aware and will project their jealousy onto others and make them the problem instead of actually looking within themselves. See, I used to be someone that when I had zero self-worth and I was very, very broken from all the stuff that I went through, which I talk a little bit about in my first and second episode. So go listen to that if you haven't already. And I will be talking about it more in depth in a different episode about what exactly had happened to me. But when I was at the lowest place in my life, I did feel jealousy from others. And a real woman, a real person, an honest person, an authentic person would admit that. And that's when that person falls into the category of not a victim, They actually take accountability of their life, like I did, like you do. But a lot of people will demonize that word jealousy, that if someone is jealous, they're a horrible person, and categorizing everyone in the same box. And I'm not about that. Because the truth of the matter is, people don't look at the reality of the situation and want to act like, oh, I'm perfect, I'm jealous. And the same people that yap all over the world about I'm not a jealous person, or if this person is jealous, or on social media, then I can't be your friend. Like, let's go deep into it, right? Like we all have jealousy. We are humans. We all have these negative emotions as well. But these negative emotions is a tool for you to ask yourself why you feel this way, and then heal from that trauma, because trauma is what made you feel this way. Because you feel unworthy, you feel like you're not enough. So when you look at someone else, you feel jealous because you feel like you're not enough. And this person is more than enough. But in reality, that person is you in a different form, and you can be that version of that person if you recognize that you feel this way instead of projecting. Are you going to be the self-aware person that's going to recognize the emotion and do something about it, or are you going to be the other individual that plays a victim and projects their insecurities onto everybody else and not take accountability of their life and evolve and become better? See, that's the real question. That's the real answer and the real question. Because the choice you make in that moment of the emotion you're feeling over and over again, and you don't acknowledge it, instead project it, it is your job to recognize and stop eventually and say, hold on, am I projecting? I need to take a look at myself. Are you going to be the self aware person, or are you going to be the victim? And if you're listening to my podcast, you're definitely someone that is not the person that projects their jealousy onto others. You are someone that is like me, that is a self aware individual that wants to be better and is not going to act like their shit don't stink when the word jealousy comes around, because that's not true. We all evolve from something. We all have these human emotions. It's like I said, it's what you do with it is what's going to make or break you. Like for me, for instance, like I mentioned, I have been jealous before. And every time I was jealous, while I was at the lowest place of my life, this negative emotion that kept showing up, I recognized it. I never projected onto anyone. I kept questioning, like, why do I feel this way? And it doesn't mean that the moment I asked myself every time why I feel this way that I knew how to heal. No, but that was the step. I kept asking myself why I feel this way. I don't want to feel this way. Whether it was someone in my life or people that are complete strangers, I would never project that on. And I would always pull myself back and recognize, like, hold on, why do I feel this way? I don't want to feel this way about this person, whether it's a stranger or someone that I care about, because I genuinely care about them. So I would always question myself, like, why do I feel this way? And I hated feeling that way because I knew that that's not who I am. But I also didn't know why I felt the way I felt at that moment. But it opened the doors for me to recognize the first step of being the person that I always have been, which was someone that was very self aware, but I didn't realize it. And then eventually, every time that feeling would show up, I would ask myself and then do something about it, heal from it, evolve from it. I wouldn't stop that emotion the moment it would show up. I would let that emotion rise up and then feel it and let it go. And then when I'm alone, I would ask myself or journal, or I sometimes talk to myself out loud because sometimes I don't really like to journal. I like to talk to myself. I know, which is probably weird, but that's just who I am. And I would ask myself, like, why did I do this? Why do I feel this way? And then eventually, from the steps I took from healing, which was like a bunch of things that I did, I kind of mentioned in one of the episodes. If not, I'll create a whole new episode about what I did for my healing journey. But I meditated a lot because, meditation helps you connect to yourself. And meditating helps you calm your mind down. And when you calm your mind down, you connect to your higher self. And when you connect to your higher self, you can properly listen to who you really are and why you feel the way you feel. You can get the guidance from your own self. But also, therapy is very helpful as well. I wouldn't recommend therapy personally if you're someone that is a self-aware individual forever, because when you're self-aware, you already know why you are the way you are. But it was a great tool for me in the beginning because I was at complete rock bottom. So at that point, I needed someone to guide me, and my therapist was great. I went to her for a couple of months, but everything she was telling me, it was like she was unlocking things about me that I already knew in my head. But I thought I was crazy for thinking that. I thought I was everything that I was thinking about my true self was wrong because I didn't know how to trust myself that time. So having a professional like that helped me. just basically validate me into what I know to be true helped me a lot. And then I stopped going to therapy because I already knew what was wrong with me. I already knew why I feel the way I feel. I already knew what my trauma was. I already knew all that. Now it was just time for me to connect the dots and heal from it. And when I started doing that, I started to be even more self-aware from the feelings that I was getting. And every time I would get that feeling, like I said, meditation would help me a lot to calm my mind down and then actually sit with that emotion and ask myself why I feel this way. And then eventually, once I started recognizing why I feel the way I feel, I started to heal from that actual wound that created this unworthiness inside of me. But the thing is, a lot of people, especially on social media, will say things like, oh, like I said, if you're a jealous person, I don't want you in my life. I don't mess with you. I don't fuck with you. But I feel like when people like us hear it, the old souls, the self-aware souls, you might think to yourself, especially when you're healing or in the midst of your healing journey, you might listen to that video and say, wait, I feel jealous. Am I a horrible person? No, you are not a horrible person. Those people that are talking all these facts don't know the truth. They're just talking out of their ass. And that's why you need to learn how to use your discernment to understand, like, no, 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 there's a deeper layer behind that word jealousy and people that have it. Yes, it is true. I think that you should not surround yourself with jealous people, but not in that way. I think you shouldn't surround yourself with jealous people that play the victim and project their shit onto you. Those people you don't want to be around. But if there's somebody in your life, or you being one of those individuals that is healing and recognizing and is aware of their emotions, you're not harming nobody, physically or energetically. You're not harming nobody because you're not projecting your shit onto someone else. You are owning it and wanting to become better. That's it. There's a difference. So I really wanted to make that clear because I don't want anybody to feel like that, especially when you're on your healing journey. If you listen to those basic, you know, videos about jealousy and the surface level shit about jealousy, I don't want you to feel like that's you. That is not you. Matter of fact, those people that they're talking about are the people that were in your lives that hurt you. The people that projected onto you and made you believe that you were the problem, and when in reality, you were the light in the group of whether it was family or friends, that they didn't want you to be the light that you are, so they tried to shut you down and therefore project their jealousy onto you every time you would speak your truth. Shine bright, become authentically you. Their jealousy projected onto you, and you took it as if it was you feeling jealous, but it's not you. It was their energy feeding you to make you believe that you are the horrible victim that's always jealous and projecting it onto others. But in reality, that was them all along, making you believe that you are someone like them and they are someone like you, the true essence of you. But in reality, it was vice versa. You are the true essence. You are someone that takes your emotions, your negative emotions, and transmutes it into power by evolving, healing, and being that self-aware baddie that you know you are. But those people that act like they're the victim, like poor me, are the people that are actually the individuals that you don't want to be around, that will project onto you, that will manipulate you and make you feel like you are the problem. Those people will never take accountability, because if those people actually took accountability, they would be aware that they're jealous. They would take that emotion and then actually evolve and heal from it instead of projecting it onto their loved ones or strangers. But they won't. And that's why majority of the time the people that talk about jealousy on a surface level don't even know what the hell jealousy is, because they don't even know themselves, and therefore they're still yapping their mouths as if they know what the hell they're talking about. In reality, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And me, when I see that shit, I just simply scroll. It's like, okay, yeah, the call is coming from the room, babe. Okay, you know. And I just wanted to like make that very clear, and this is why this topic was so important for me, because every human has negative emotions, but our negative emotions and all the shitty things that happen to us in our lives is a tool for us to become the highest version of ourselves and recognize that everything that we have been portrayed as to ourselves or to others is not who we really are. And these tools are going to help you to evolve to the highest version of you. And I'm not talking to people that play the victim in their lives. Those people don't understand what we're even talking about, because they don't even know what self-aware means. Because in order to understand what being self-aware means, you have to be self-aware. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm self-aware because it's a trend. No, no. You can't just be like, oh, I'm spiritual because it's a trend. No, no. Nothing's a trend. Everything in this life is about evolving. Each lesson you have in your life is for you to evolve to the next level. Now it's up to you. What do you want to do with that? Are you going to take this emotion, each emotion you have, and project it, or are you going to recognize that this is an emotion I have and I am going to heal and evolve from it and not project my shit onto others? And also, a lot of people will act like they are self aware. Like, I had this one individual in my life that I thought was also on this journey with me, but and she, like, as if she was self aware. But she was self aware to some extent, but she was completely projecting her insecurities onto me, but doing a really good job at acting like she actually is happy for me. But in reality, my intuition knew the truth, because anybody can act like they're happy for you, but you have to see through the facade that they're carrying. And you can. You have that ability. You just need to tap into it. And first, you have to heal to be balanced, to recognize the truth from the fake. Like me, like I told you, I had this one individual in my life that I thought was also self-aware like me when I started my healing journey. And I realized down the line that she was continuously projecting her insecurities onto me and wasn't really happy for me. Even if she did really want to be happy for me, she was not. And she would always want to not go anywhere with me. Like, the minute I started to, like, show signs of healing in my healing journey, because it didn't happen overnight, obviously, but there were signs that was showing, because every time that she would see me, she would see this involvement in me, because I wouldn't always hang out with her or other people because I was too busy focusing on my healing journey, because I was way too broken. But the times I would hang out with her, which was quite often before, she would see that I kept evolving and evolving and evolving, like, to the point where I'm not even the same Prashida that she saw me as when she first met me, the broken version of me. Now I'm the Prashida that I was always meant to be, the authentic version of me. So she didn't like that. And when I started owning who I am, my confidence, my beauty, my success, everything, instead of hiding that part of me or all of it because I thought I was too much or I would make people feel insecure when I was feeling insecure as well at that time, but I was aware about it, she would not want to go anywhere with me. She would only want to come over and stay in at my place or stay at her place. She would never want to go anywhere with me because she knew that my light would shine too much when I was around her, and it would make her feel insecure because I would get a lot of attention. And not just because of my physical beauty, because of course I know I'm beautiful. See, the old me would never have said that out loud. Now I actually own it. Like, yeah, I am beautiful. And when I would go out, I would get a lot more attention because I would be aware of my beauty, and not just physical. I mean my internal, because I am an amazing, beautiful person internally as well. And she would not like it. And therefore, she would not want to hang out with me often or make excuses as to why she hasn't. But deep down, I knew. She would also make me feel like my truth about my story, where I had two near death experiences, she wouldn't even acknowledge that part of my life. Even though she was never around during that time when that happened to me, we were friends for a really long time, and she not once ever asked about that part of my life, which was a huge part of my life, and it made me who I am today. And anytime I would bring it up, she would ignore that part of my life. And then I realized, when I started to actually listen to my intuition, that, oh, this person doesn't want to hear my depth and always cuts me off or goes mute when I bring it up, once in a blue moon when I did, because I would never feel comfortable bringing it up because I wasn't comfortable being vulnerable that time. I was still healing. I wasn't, like, completely healed like I am now. I mean, completely healed. I mean, who is completely healed? But you know what I mean, from the broken version of me. So yeah, so like I said, she did not want to hear my depth because it made her feel uncomfortable. My depth made her feel uncomfortable. My authenticity made her feel comfortable. My light made her feel uncomfortable. And I started really seeing it. And then I realized, like, this person is claiming to be self-aware, but this entire time, she has been projecting her insecurities and jealousy onto me, because every time I had a win, she it was like crickets. Like, I would say it, but I read her entire face and her energy. Like, I knew. And there was times where she would act like she was happy for me. And like I said, maybe she was happy for me or tried to be happy for me. But deep down, I feel her negative energy projecting onto me as if, like, I don't deserve it. And every time, like I said, we would go out, she didn't like the fact that I was light. So then I realized, like, she's just keeping me around as a friend because she still wants me in her life because I bring that light in her life. But is not comfortable when I shine that light out in public or when we go out or have fun. None of that. She didn't like it. Or when I have a win in my life, she did not like it because she was projecting. She would act like she was aware, but she was projecting. And like I said, that's her journey. That's none of my business. And I still care for her and I wish her nothing but the best. But I can't have people like that in my life that will continuously project and let alone ignore my depth for their comfortability. That's not okay. That's not fair to me. I can't be that friend that people want me to be, that I am, where I bring the depth, I bring the wisdom, I bring the love, I bring the authenticity, the light. But then when I need it, you go ghost on me. You don't even want to be around me because now you have to give your half of the friendship to me as well because it's an equal exchange. Like, yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say to you guys. It's like, listen, there's two types of jealousy and jealous people in this world. What you do with that jealousy is going to take you far or it's going to take you back. Are you going to be the person that has that jealous emotion, negative feeling, and be self aware about it and heal from it and evolve from it? Or are you going to be the individual that is going to project it onto others? And also, if you are the self-aware person, which I'm sure you are if you're listening to my podcast, are you going to be the person that's going to continuously allow other people that are secretly having jealousy towards you and projecting it onto you still stay in your life when you're someone that even at your lowest felt jealous but never projected onto them? Are you going to keep that person in your life because you're not someone that ever did that even while you were at your lowest? Matter of fact, you're not someone that ever did that while you were at your complete lowest and the other person wasn't even as low as you because they didn't go through half the shit that you went through, but still projects their shit onto you. Like, no, you deserve more. And I'm not comparing that people like you and I have been through more and they haven't. No, it's just the truth. It's the facts. And it's okay because it's the truth. And something you also should admit is the truth because the truth is the truth, baby. Like when you have been in this initiation period of your life to go through all the shit that you went through because your soul is meant to be more because you're an old soul. And other people that haven't been through even half the shit that you went through have no problem projecting their insecurities onto you but act like they're just self-aware person. That's not okay. But that's their journey. It doesn't make them a bad person. It just means that you need to recognize people for who they really are, but you need to recognize who you are first. And you also need to realize the negative emotions that you're feeling is all part of your process to heal. It's a tool, so you need to use it wisely. And if you're already using it wisely, continue using it wisely. And do not ever think for a second you are that individual that is projecting your jealousy onto others. You are someone that is aware. The fact that you are even aware of that thought and actually not blaming the other person, but looking inside of you and asking yourself these questions and then healing from it. Yeah, babe, you are nothing like the other individuals. You're not the victim. You're not playing the victim. You are someone that is so strong in your essence that you can recognize who you are in real time and why you feel the way you are, why you feel the way you feel in real time and adjust that accordingly. Because you want to be better. You don't want to be in this miserable space that you are in anymore. You don't want to be that person. Those people that are still stuck in that version of them, let them be stuck. You're not here to save them. You're here to save yourself for once. Save yourself. Recognize who you are. Focus on you. And remove anyone from your life that is projecting their shit onto you and make you feel like you didn't go through nothing by ignoring your pain. Don't have that. I cut everybody from my past out of my life that did not deserve a place in my life. And the other friend that I was talking about, she is someone that I've kept my distance from because she did bring some good qualities in my life, which I'm grateful for. She was there in some moments of my life that I am so grateful for. And honestly, I would not change that part of my life at all because she gave me something that I needed when I had nothing. Even though she wasn't a real true friend like how I am, she still gave me whatever she can give me based off of who she is and how she gives to herself. And so I accepted. But I also wasn't dumb enough to still keep her in my life when I know this person does not fuck with me on that level, no matter how much she wants to fuck with me. Unless she actually heals and evolves and stops projecting her shit onto me. Other than that, I can't have someone like that in my life. And this is not to air out anyone from my past. Like I said, this is just my journey. I talk about it. And I wish her nothing but the best. But there's other people, like I've talked about in my first and second episode on my podcast, about like my siblings and family friends that I've cut off. Those people will never deserve a place back in my life because they did some diabolical shit to me. But so my theory always is, the more shit you do to me, the harsher the circumstances that you're gonna get with me. And when I say circumstances, I don't mean reactiveness. I mean, if you really tried to hurt me at my lowest, you're cut. If you tried to project your shit onto me, but didn't try to hurt me at my lowest, but tried your best to be there for me, even though you feel insecure and jealous around me while I was at my lowest or highest, you still showed up the best way you could and the best way you tried. Whether it was genuine or not, I am grateful. And I would never not be grateful for that. And that's when I will either just keep my distance from you and adjust my friendship accordingly and give only what you give. And it's not tit for tat, it's just energy exchange. So, like I said, it's not tit for tat, it's just energy exchange. If someone is not giving you the love, the respect, the authenticity, the loyalty that and the depth that you give when they're at their lowest, and when you need that same love, respect, depth, and loyalty when you're at your lowest from them, and they don't even give an ounce of that, or even half of that, you need to know exactly where to keep those kind of friendships or family members. You need to know where to keep those relationships in your life. Whether it's time for you to cut them off, depending on how badly they hurt you. Like in my case, I cut a lot of people off because they not only were jealous and projecting, but they were putting me down at my complete lowest, where I went through a lot of crazy shit. And then there's some people that would not go that low, but still project their shit onto you and act like your pain, one of the biggest parts of your life, never existed. That's still hurtful, but they're not in the same category as the people from my past, like the siblings and the family friends. Like just like this friend. She's not someone like that. Not at all. But she still is someone that projected her shit onto me. It made me feel like my pain and my depth never existed. But when she needed it, it was okay. It was fine. And I'm never going to sit there and complain about, oh, I gave her all this love and emotion. She never gave me all that. I'm never going to complain about that because that's who I am. I would never, ever, ever change who I am. I would just change the relationship now. There's a difference. Don't ever change who you are for somebody else and stoop to their level. You just change your relationship based off of what they give you. And like I said, it is not tit for tat, it's energy exchange. You don't want your energy depleted by giving more than the other person is giving you. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of people can only give you what they can give themselves. And someone like that one friend I was talking about that wasn't like horrible, but still projected her shit onto me, that was acting like she was aware, but not really doing anything about her awareness, just still projecting. I didn't cut her off, I just kept my distance. And now I have that relationship at surface level. I don't go deep with her and I'm not there for her the way I've always been. And now she understands. Whether she understands it or not, it's none of my business. But now I know where I keep her, and whether that friendship keeps moving forward or it ends, that is all up to the universe. But me, I'm focused on myself and I'm giving my all my love and energy to only the people that really deserve it, not the people that will never give it back to me. And like I said, people like that will only do that not because they have something against you, because they have something against their true self. They don't want to face their true selves, because if they actually had to face their true selves, they would have to uncover a lot of things that they actually don't like about themselves. And some people are not equipped to do that because their souls are not at that level yet. But our souls are, because we're old souls. So sometimes you have to do the right thing, which is limiting your access to who you are or completely cutting it off. And as old souls that are very deeply sensitive empaths, it is a hard thing to do. But you know what? You know what's even harder? Is keeping those people in your life and their energy draining the life force out of you, because you continuously want to have that same love and respect that you give to them from them as well. You can't hope for something from someone that doesn't even want to acknowledge that what they're doing is not okay. So, anyways, I hope you guys like this podcast, and I'll be back next week for my next episode. And if you guys have any questions, like I said before, email me. My email's in my bio. My TikTok, I believe my TikTok handle is in my bio. If not, if you want to follow me on TikTok, I post daily inspirations on there. And my handle is at Prashida888, Prashida888. And you can always message me through TikTok or my email, which is like I said in the bio. And eventually I will create an Instagram for this page as well. So if you guys can directly message me on there as well. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, need anything from me, I'm always here. And I hope you guys love this podcast. And I will see you next week. Bye.